What's up, my people? You are now in tuned to another episode of Mental Telepathy's Arena here at the Homeless Empire. And I am your host and lyrical genius, Black Titanium, baby. As you know, our primary target here at the our primary topic here at the Homeless Empire is the black youth, because they are targeted for extermination. And when our youth are targeted for extermination, then our future is targeted for extermination. And if we don't do anything about it, we will perish. And that's what you have to realize. So our primary youth, my primary, reason for making these channels is to keep the eyes on the youth, to keep the youth, who many people might think, our youth is savages, our youth is this, and some, by the time they get a certain age, they are savages. But a lot of them are just misunderstood, and I know it's a lot of the times they annoy the fuck out of me. But I know they misunderstood. I know a lot of them are intelligent, and I know just like I know the black man is naturally a genius. But the fact that we've been stripped of our identity, and a lot of us are stuck in an identity crisis, don't know who we are. I'm talking about as a people. I'm not saying me per se and you per se. I'm saying, but a lot of the times we have to learn to think collectively. Because a lot of people just look at the video and say, man, what are you talking about, nigga? I got a fly ass car, nigga. I'm good. My family is good. But that's the exact type of thinking that's killing us. They indoctrinated you to think like that. Self-preservation is the best preservation. Go for yourself, man. Get your money, man. So nobody can really see the big picture. A nigga think because he get $1 million, or he get a little job, or he get a little apartment, or he get a little house or a car, he think that's a whole. I mean, and I don't knock a brother or a sister when I see that. Because I don't get jealous. I don't have the slightest feeling of jealousy whenever I see a nigga drive by in a new car. I say more power to the brothers and sisters, man, because they deserve it. All the shit that's been done to us in history to the present, oh yeah, we deserve way more than what we getting. As a matter of fact, they giving black people crumbs right now compared to what they owe us. Trust me. And if not including the fact that we've invented damn near everything in this country, from the street signs to the stop signs to the everything. They've stolen from us. So you got to understand why I say black people deserve it. I mean, a lot of them are sellouts. Even the sellouts know they deserve it, but they deserve death too. Real talk, my nigga. There's a lot of niggas that deserve death. A lot of chicks out here that deserve death for the things that they doing to their children, for the way they just put their children on, design their children's failure, throw their children to the wolves. These chicks are sick in the mind right now. This is why when you hear me talking about black women, because not that I hate black women. No, my mother was a black woman. My sister's black. It's just when you old enough to see the transformation. A lot of people are not old enough to even see the transformation, so they caught up in their day and time. They caught up inside of their box. They can't think as a collective people. They can't see the bigger picture. So what they do, they go on about their daily lives thinking that they really they mess over their people to be accepted on the social status, because that's one of the biggest signs of self-hatred. That's one of the biggest symptoms of self-hatred. When you hate yourself, you will reach out to every other culture to be accepted on the social status, to the point where you'll mess over your own people. And a lot of us do that. Not me per se, but I say us because you gotta think as a collective. You know, people think that, no, I talk like this because, oh, that nigga's a bum. He ain't got no money. See, and I'm going to keep it 100 with you because I ain't going to put on no facades. I'm homeless and I've been homeless. But a lot of people get the word homeless confused with being helpless. Those are two different words. Now, mind you, I know plenty of people in the shelter system that's sitting on dough. And I mean plenty of it. And can't get an apartment, can't get a house, can't get none of that. Because that's the new way of shutting the black man out of living somewhere. This credit check that they came up with a few years ago. Why they get the black woman to sabotage you, and they want to indoctrinate the black man to be codependent on a black woman, and we supposed to be codependent upon the black woman, but not to the point where we go live off of her and go in her house. That's where their mindset is at now, is that they live by the stereotype that the black woman has to take care of the black man. He can't do for himself. Because this further instills the self-hatred in the black woman to make her look down on us as degenerates and undesirables, and they instill that in their children. This is why children can't get knowledge from the older generation no more, because it's been instilled in them by the mother to basically disrespect men. Your father ain't shit. These niggas ain't shit. This is what they constantly tell them growing up. So children's minds are like sponges. They soak it up. So by the time they get 16, 17, 18, they don't even want to hear from an older nigga unless he's inside of their clique. And they live by the military ranking, so they gotta listen to an older nigga. But those older niggas grew up the same way them children's did. One thing about gang members you gotta understand is that they all share one thing in common bond. One common bond is the fact that they were all abused children at one point or another in some way, form, or fashion. So when they come into the gang, the older niggas don't want them to go nowhere, because the older niggas, just like the younger niggas, have abandonment issues. This is what they deal with, abandonment issues. So they don't want to let each other go nowhere if he's up under them, unless they go on with him. This is why when they get girlfriends, you'll see when they turn their back, them niggas try to cut each other's throat and have sex with each other's girls and sex with each other's wives, to the point where they become hypersexual deviants. Rapists and pedophiles and shit like that, but that's a whole nother video. But yeah, when you around your people, you have to understand the mind of your people. This is why Malcolm X said traveling broadens the mind. Because when you travel, you get to know how your people operate in different geographical locations. But yes, this is when children will go into the gang. The older niggas mislead them, and they rob them of their education. They rob each other of their education. They feed each other's insecurities all day and downplay each other's virtues. Tell each other a bunch of dumb shit to make them not want to go to school. Because they have abandonment issues. When they meet somebody and that person becomes part of their so-called family, they have abandonment issues. So they don't ever want that person beneath them to go nowhere unless they're going with them. So it's like carrying a pack of leeches on your back until, like, their philosophy, the older one's philosophy, if I make $1 million, I'll give you $25. Or I'll give you $100. If I make another $1 million, you get $2,000. So they like shit like that. But my thing is, you have to understand the mind of the youth. A lot of youth are misunderstood, but when you look inside of those gangs, even black men, black women, and black children are some of the most gifted, some of the most talented people in our race. But it's the fact they gotta have abandonment issues that they won't let them niggas go nowhere unless them niggas are first. So, but the point I'm making is that whether you're in a gang or not, The black man is naturally a genius. We come from kings and queens who ruled dynasties for thousands of years. But our problem is that we're too peaceful, too forgiving. We have a problem with understanding who our true enemy is, who's trying to kill us. If you see a person like Trayvon Martin, and then you see Michael Brown, Sandra Bland, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, and the list goes on and on and on, and you start to see a pattern, that should tell you something. If that don't wake you up and you can't see that pattern, then you have to understand and you have to study the game of white supremacy and know why you're dying. Because if you don't understand the game of white supremacy, you'll do like these black people do. Every time they shoot a black man, they'll come on TV and say, I don't understand this. What's going on? What is this? And then all the white man gonna do is slide them little liberal undercover races up under you. And the undercover liberal races is on the same level as the blatant white supremacist races. They all in agreement that they want to kill you. Real talk. And if you don't understand the game of white supremacy and how it operates, you'll ask yourself every time, until the point where you'll have our youth wanting to kill themselves, my nigga. Because imagine yourself as being a child and you see all of the older men selling out, being punked by white people, being destroyed, niggas nodding out all over the bench on dope and shit like that. You'll have nothing to look up to. So you'll start reaching out to other cultures, and other cultures will start feeding you all type of fucking lies and deceit, and trying to play because the white man is a master at the game of divide and conquer. If he keep you divided from me, then he's keeping you divided from the knowledge. And just like some of the most brightest scholars in our race who come along, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, beautiful woman. She's an older woman now, but she dedicated a black psychologist who could have went into psychology and made millions if she would have went on in their world. She could have made millions, but she dedicated her whole life to trying to liberate and help our people uplift themselves. And all black people did was help the white man shit all over her mental. And now she's an older woman. She's in her 80s, damn near about to die. And the realization of that is she's gonna have to die realizing that black people ain't shit in this day and time. May God bless her. Then you gotta move on to Dr. Naeem Akbar, one of the brightest scholars of our race, another black psychologist, who could have went into his profession and made millions if he would have just turned a blind eye to what's going on with us. But he dedicated his whole life to trying to liberate and help our people. And all black people did was help white people shit all over him, even though a lot of us supported him. And to the point where he didn't have to go to the plantation and be messed over. And then you move on to Dr. Umar Johnson and others, all these other bright scholars who went to these white man system, got a degree, and niggas still didn't respect it. Dr. Delbert Blair, Dr. Leonard Jeffries, Dr. Arvan Van Sertima, Dr. Sheikh Anta Diop, all of these people dedicated their whole lives. Sonny Carson, all of these people dedicated their whole lives to trying to help black people. Because the average black person who leaves the hood and goes to a Division I school and goes to the University of Duke or Yale or anything like that, they never come back, because who wants to be held in captivity by their own people? So with that being said, peace.